Mexico 1-0 South Korea. The final score is in, and what a match it was. The Azteca Stadium was electric, with the crowd cheering on their team from the first whistle to the last. The stakes were high, with both teams knowing that a win would be crucial in their quest to advance to the next round. The atmosphere was tense, with both teams giving it their all. The question on everyone's mind was, who would come out on top? The answer would have to wait until the final whistle. But one thing was for sure: this match was going to be an instant classic. The teams took to the field, and the crowd erupted in a frenzy of noise and color. The stage was set, and the beautiful game was about to unfold. The first half was a tactical battle, with both teams feeling each other out. Mexico started stronger, with their attacking trio causing problems for the South Korean defense. The Koreans, however, were not to be underestimated, and they began to gain more possession as the half wore on. The key chance of the half fell to Mexico, but their striker was unable to capitalize on the opportunity. The half ended with the score tied at 0-0, but the crowd knew that this was far from over. The tension was palpable, and the stakes were high. Who would come out on top in the second half? The teams headed into the locker room, knowing that the next 45 minutes would be crucial. The coaches made their adjustments, and the players were ready to give it their all. The second half was about to begin, and the crowd was on the edge of their seats. The second half was a different story, with Mexico coming out stronger. They began to dominate possession, and their attacking play became more fluid. The Koreans, however, were not ready to give up yet. They fought hard, and their defense was solid. But Mexico's pressure eventually paid off, and they scored the winning goal. The stadium erupted, and the Mexican players celebrated with their fans. The Koreans, on the other hand, were left to ponder what could have been. The final whistle blew, and Mexico had won the match 1-0. The crowd was ecstatic, and the Mexican players were jubilant. They had done it, they had won the match, and taken a crucial step towards advancing to the next round. The goal that won the match was a thing of beauty. It started with a beautiful pass from the Mexican midfielder, who found his striker making a run behind the Korean defense. The striker took the pass in stride, and then slotted the ball past the Korean goalkeeper. The stadium erupted, and the Mexican players celebrated with their fans. The goal was a testament to the skill and determination of the Mexican team, and it was the difference between the two teams. The Koreans had their chances, but they were unable to capitalize on them. The Mexican goal, on the other hand, was a masterclass in finishing. It was a goal that will be remembered for a long time, and it was the decisive moment in the match. The tactical battle between the two teams was fascinating. Mexico started with a 4-3-3 formation, while South Korea opted for a 4-2-3-1. The Mexicans used their attacking trio to great effect, with their striker causing problems for the Korean defense. The Koreans, on the other hand, used their midfield duo to control the tempo of the game. But as the match wore on, Mexico's pressure began to pay off, and they started to dominate possession. The Koreans were unable to cope with the Mexican pressure, and they eventually conceded the winning goal. The tactical battle was won by Mexico, and it was the difference between the two teams. The standout performer for Mexico was their striker, who scored the winning goal. He was a constant threat to the Korean defense, and his finishing was clinical. The Mexican midfielder was also impressive, with his passing range and vision causing problems for the Koreans. For South Korea, their midfielder was the standout performer, with his work rate and tackling ability being impressive. But despite their best efforts, the Koreans were unable to overcome the Mexican defense. The Mexican goalkeeper was also impressive, with his saves keeping his team in the match. The players had given it their all, and the crowd had been treated to a thrilling match. The reaction from around the world was one of shock and admiration. The Mexican fans were ecstatic, with their team having taken a crucial step towards advancing to the next round. The South Korean fans, on the other hand, were left to ponder what could have been. The media was full of praise for the Mexican team, with their performance being hailed as one of the best of the tournament so far. The pundits were impressed with the Mexican striker, with his goal being hailed as one of the best of the tournament. The social media was also abuzz with reaction, with the hashtag #Mexico vs South Korea trending worldwide. The world was talking about the match, and the Mexican team was basking in the glory of their win. The result of the match has a significant impact on the tournament. Mexico's win takes them to the top of their group, and they are now in a strong position to advance to the next round. South Korea, on the other hand, are left to ponder their next move. They need to win their next match to have any chance of advancing, and the pressure is now on. The group standings have been shaken up, and the tournament is now more open than ever. The Mexican win has also sent a message to the other teams in the tournament. They are a force to be reckoned with. The world is now talking about Mexico, and their chances of winning the tournament have increased significantly. And that's a wrap from the Azteca Stadium, where Mexico has emerged victorious with a 1-0 win over South Korea. The crowd was electric, and the match was an instant classic. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the match, and we look forward to bringing you more exciting matches from the World Cup. Don't forget to subscribe to @World Soccer and Peace for the most in-depth analysis and highlights from the tournament. Until next time, goodbye and thank you for watching. The beautiful game has once again brought us together, and we are honored to be a part of it. #World Cup 2026, #FIFA, #soccer, #football, #Mexico, #South Korea, #World Soccer and Peace.